CapCut is back. We're about to make America great again. It's actually owned by TikTok. Anyway, guys, what's going on? Here's a video about doing more. Let me start off with a little story. I was at a party, which I don't go to parties. It wasn't like a club. I'm just a family get-together, if you will. And I was sitting there and I was listening to two young men about my age, in their early 30s or so. Actually, one of them was in his early 40s. Is still in his 40s. I was listening to these guys talk about their jobs. These are guys in the family or extended family, and they were talking about how their job is so easy and how they get to milk the company, or I think the exact words were, "It's the easiest money I've made. I don't do much. I sit around," and so on and so forth. And I'm sitting there just listening, eating my food, minding my own business, thinking to myself, what kind of a lifestyle is that? That your job is to do as little as possible for the most amount of gain as possible. I think, truthfully, guys, I think that's human nature. I think, to me, it's a lot about people do what they think is the right thing to success. I think much of what we've learned in society is to do as little work as possible. And I think it has a lot to do with the upbringing of school. And in school, you want to find the answer without getting in trouble, the easiest possible way, right? So it's always like, do the least possible without getting caught while still getting a good grade. Play the system, right? And I think that's playing the system mindset is really cynical, because it's really shorting yourself at the end of the day. One of my mentors said very early on in my personal development journey about 9 years ago that do more than what you get paid for, and you will get paid more. Let me repeat that. He said to me, do more than what you get paid to do so that you may get paid more. I thought that was a crazy idea at the time. I said, this has never been heard of. What? You want me to do more without getting paid? That's insane. Why would I ever do that to myself? That's like encouraging tyranny. That's telling people to beat me up and lay down. And he said, no, Zane, when you do more, you will get better. When you get better, you will control the shots. When you get better, people will rely on you more. When they rely on you more, they understand that they need you more. When they need you more, they will pay you more. And if they don't pay you more, go somewhere else where they will. And I said, what a concept. But what if they don't? What if I can't find another job? He's like, well, that's going to be a leap of faith on your part, my friend. At the time, I used to actually not own anything. I was an employee. And he said another thing. He said, if you do more when you have little to do, we will give you some wonderful things to do when there is more to do. And that, for some reason, clicked. It took a while. The biggest thing I had to really do was put aside my resentment and really just believe that if I did more, I would get better, and if I got better, I would really just be in a better position to negotiate. My negotiation power would get better because I just took more on, and that's precisely what happened. I took more on, I got better, I took even more on after that, and I got even better. I took responsibility first for things that were expected of me, which is a crazy idea, right? Most people don't do that. And then when I was able to conquer that realm, I took responsibility for things that were not even expected of me. I did more than I was expected, and it helped a lot. And then the craziest thing happened. When I got stronger enough to do not just what was expected of me, but also more than, I said, well, hell, this is not that bad. It took a few months. Let me see if I can take responsibility for what other people are expected to do. And that's when things really started changing for me. When I started saying, you messed up, but it's also my fault because I could have also helped you. When that started to happen, man, did it start clicking. Things started clicking, and some of you guys are there. Just be there for the people more than, of course, do your part, do this more than expected of you, and then start doing other people's work for them as well. Man, it'll make you into a machine of a worker, of a leader, of a business person, of a businessman, and how much money you can make. I think the biggest thing is people try to play the system because they think that's the only way you can actually get rich. There's this idea out there that the only people that are rich are either jerks, they cheated, or they're criminals and they're just mean, or they just got lucky, right? They just got lucky. They won the lotto, they won the American Idol, whatever, right? All these ideas on Mr. Beast, right? I watch these things and I look at how many people think their only chance. I was watching that Beast Games thing because I'm fascinated by Mr. Beast and how he plays everybody, right? It's crazy. You have to be blind not to see how he's good at playing the whole freaking humanity. And I'm fascinated, and I was watching his show, and I saw all these people that got eliminated from that thing where he's giving out $5 million or whatever, and people are like, $5 million, like, we'll do this. And first of all, I'm like, no, you won't, because if if you did, you would have it. To be very honest, I don't want to be a jerk, but most people say they're going to do all these things if they had the money. But then you ask them, well, are you doing the same percentage of that while you don't have it? Like, you're going to give away 100 grand if you have 5 million, or $1 million when you have 5 million, or you give away 20% of what you have today. And if you can't, you won't do it when you have 5 million. I digress. Maybe someone would. But I think the part where I really got interested was people got eliminated. They were like, oh, I'll never, like, this was my only chance to make money. And I said, no. It's not your only chance to make money is to win it on. I'm speaking, that's your least likely chance that you're going to get rich, right? How many people do you know that got rich off of Mr. Beast, right? Right? There's nobody out there, or won the lotto, or got lucky, or like all these ideas are so crazy. Wealthy person that you did the same freaking way by digging deep, changing who they are, killing the man or the woman they are today for the person that they want to or need to become, putting in the work. And like I said previously, if you want to look good in front of thousands, you must work thousands in front of nobody, right? And that's the only way that I know. And it is writing down your journaling, what you're doing wrong, and where you want to be, and then doing it again once you get to do the better things, because there's more crap that got to get fixed, and step by step, and doing always more than what you're expected to do. Always. Sometimes. Always. Doing what you're expected is like, can't even do that. You're actually kind of a parasite to the world. And I'm not trying to like be a jerk. I literally mean that in a technical sense. Like, it's something that takes more than what it gives, right? A parasite is like a bug inside of you that like there's flesh, right, inside, and like doesn't give you anything in return. That's called a parasitic relationship in biology, because it takes from you without giving back. A symbiotic relationship is when you take, but you also give back. So it's like an equal. You give and you what you receive. So you're like, hey, I'm going to pay you, but you work hard. I get paid for 100 grand. I'm going to give you 100 grand's worth of effort. That's like least. You want to be symbiotic. But a beneficent relationship, right? If you're somebody that gives more than what you receive, then you are actually a giver. And receiving is only reserved for the givers. You got to understand that, guys. If you want to receive a lot, you must start the cycle of receiving, which is by giving. If you want to make a lot of money, you give a lot of money, right? You give a lot of effort. If you want to receive a lot of wisdom, you share your knowledge, you share your love. If you want to receive a lot of love, you give your love. You give more in abundant amounts, and you receive it back. If you want to get honor, you have to give honor. You have to give honor to people in order to receive it. That is how life works. This nonsense of, hey, I'm going to just take as much as I can without getting caught, that's precisely a fast track to the bottom. It's one-way ticket to broke nation, broke street, broke town, right? You want to be an absolute parasite, then do that, because that's where you're going to end up. You know people that have created wealth that have that kind of a mindset. Every person that you know is successful, if you genuinely know them, not by hearsay, oh, so-and-so I've heard is a jerk. No. If you sit down with somebody who's done well and created themselves a legacy, you're going to find out very quickly that those people are givers in all aspects. And I want you to kind of get on a leap of faith and see what happens for you. I want to challenge you right now to set aside the next month to dedicate yourself to always giving more, whatever that is, whether it's more effort for what you get paid for, whether it's more love, whether it's more smiles, whether it's more wisdom, whether it's more generosity, whether it's more time with people that you care about, whether it's more time with yourself, meditating, whatever it is. I want you to give for the next 30 days and see what happens at the end of 30 days for your life. I promise you it'll be very different from everything you've ever done. I hope this video helps. You're going to find out that if you want to receive, you have to give. Don't be a parasite. Thank you very much, guys. See you. You already know.